Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger back with you once again today, and in the last Final Fantasy XII video I made, I showed you how you can reach the Hellworm creature by going along with the quest and solving the puzzle here in the Sochum Cave Palace. So if you don't know how to do that, go and check that video out. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually kill the Hellworm. It's a massive creature with 8.9 million health. So it's going to take a bit of time to get this thing defeated, but follow my strategy and hopefully you'll survive the other side. So please do come and watch, and if you do enjoy the episode, don't forget to hit the like button, and let's get on with today's show. The Hellworm then is a fiend that likes to cast dark magic. It's quite dark focused, which means it's actually weak to holy. So in terms of equipment, I recommend you have your main tank wearing Excalibur, because he's going to be able to do a lot of damage then. And if you get him with Berserk and Bravery, then that's obviously going to be increased. So what I've also done is equipped Varn here, who's going to be my main tank, with the Genji equipment. So hopefully he'll get off multiple hits. But you can also go ahead and use the white robes as well for that extra damage. Now, Varn's going to be having reverse and decoy cast on him. He's not only going to be tanking, but he's going to be getting healed by the enemy's attacks. At least that's the working theory. Just make sure you use two characters who can keep reverse up, so that when it comes down, it is cast again as quickly as possible. In my case, I'm going to be using Bash and Ash. So I'm just going to show you their equipment briefly. Ash is going to be my main healer. And because this guy likes to use dark magic, he has a very nasty attack called Judgment, which hits for massive AoE dark damage. You're going to want to either use the Black Mask or the Gendarm Shield. And for my healer, I'm going to be using the latter. The latter's preferred, mainly because the Hellworm also uses other magical attacks, the Agar spells from any of the schools of magic. So Gendarm is just perfect all around to absorb all of that. And then for Gambits, my main tank is obviously going to be attacking, and since he's going to be berserked most of the time, these other Gambits aren't going to do anything. My other characters are going to be buffing and then attacking if possible, but mostly buffing. So we're going to turn on reverse and decoy on Bash and on Ash, so that they can keep Varn tanking at all times. And then in terms of buffing for Bash, he's going to be casting Berserk on Varn and Haste Agar on the party. And he's also going to be healing in emergencies as well with the X potion when necessary. Ash, very similar. Make sure as well for your casters that they have charge at the top, just so they can stay on top of their MP reserves. But anyhow, Ash is going to be going ahead with reverse and decoy as well on Varn. And also, I forgot to mention, it's important that you have the ability to remove stop from your tank, especially if they're using the Genji glove. So make sure your main healer, or at least one character, has the power armlet or ribbon equipped to prevent stop, and then a Gambit in order to remove stop from other characters that get affected by it. And she's going to be putting Bravery onto Varn as well, and Shelgar and Protect Gar on the rest of the party. Dispel is very important, since this battle begins with the Hellworm having both Shell and Protect along with Haste, and we obviously want to get rid of that as soon as possible. But it will also have Faith as well throughout the fight, so we need to make sure that Dispel is active at all times. And that's pretty much it. This fight gets harder the longer it goes on. The boss starts doing stronger attacks, but hopefully with this tactic we'll get through it without too much of an issue. I'm going to start controlling Varn here, and we're going to head into the boss room and see how we get on. We're going to use the Age-Worn key, which we got at the last episode. So again, if you don't have that, make sure you check that out before continuing, or you won't be able to continue, quite frankly. So this friendly level 60 creature is the Hellworm. And I like the way his health bar split up here, so that you can see the progress that you need to make in order to take this guy out. So first things first, we're going to start dishing on the buffs here, including reverse, decoy, and all these others as well. We don't need floats for this battle, so make sure that's turned off on Bash. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. And then hopefully Wyrm's going to be tanking quite soon here. And you can also steal a few bits from this guy. You could get a Dark Stone, Dark Magicite and Dark Crystal, if any of that takes your fancy. And look at this massive damage we're laying onto the boss now with Wyrm. So, with Berserk as well and Hastegar in play, we're going to be doing a nice amount of damage. And if you still take a lot of damage on your tank, then you'll probably want to think about equipping the Bubble Belt or Casting Bubble. But the problem with Casting Bubble is it doesn't last very long. So it all depends what you want to do. For the start of the fight, you shouldn't be having too much trouble, so keep that Genji glove active. But this is the attack that's going to be hurting you, which is every 10% of the boss's health. Judgment, which does dark damage and can cast stop. So if you can survive this, then everything else should be a formality. As a matter of fact, it's only Red Ash that seemed to be struggling. Mainly because Wyrm's going to be getting healed anyhow by his reverse status. And Ash has the Gendarm shield, so she's going to be nullifying that damage and absorbing it in fact. And I'm just trying to think about moving my other characters out of the way here. So if we just control Ash, because she's standing right in the path of the boss there, which isn't the smartest move in all honesty. And let's just speed things up a touch now, and we can just watch as these little health bars drop off the Hellworm here. So we are doing very nice damage, but as you get to 50% health on the boss anyway, that is, he's going to start introducing some newer abilities which you're going to have to heal through, including Rake, which comes a little bit later. And Wyrm's been hit by all sorts of nasty stuff here, so it looks like we're going to have to... Oh, it's okay, he's back to normal now. And here comes the next judgment. Hopefully this one won't be too troubling for us. Bring Wyrm back up to health here. Unfortunately, the X potion and healing gambits can be a bit of a problem once you've got a character with reverse active. But just make sure you are using Cure-a-Gar gambits rather than Cure-a-Jar, for obvious reasons. And here we go again. Another judgment spell. So obviously with 9 million health, this fight can drag a little bit, but just don't get too laid back about it, otherwise you are going to start feeling the pain. You can see there's more pain coming in now that we are, in fact, proceeding through the encounter here. And the other thing that is worth pointing out, I think, is that you can actually go ahead and quit this encounter. You can leave the room, and if you come back, the boss will remain with the same amount of health that that he had when you left the room. So if you lose your 18, you can actually head outside, get everyone resurrected and healed up, and then come back. The only downside is that if you leave the area for too long, he does regenerate his health. But you should have plenty of time to go out and just get your team back up to snuff again. So it looks like we're either at the 50% mark here, or very close to it, one or the other. So we do need to just try and keep Ash relatively close. She seems to be spamming decoy over and over. That's okay, she's stopped now. Just trying to move her away from the Stone Breath, which is a new ability he starts casting a little bit later on. But we're getting this one defeated, I think. At least slowly but surely. And this judgment will just continue to assault us as we go through the encounter here. Don't forget to keep the Dispel Gambit active as well, because he does like to buff himself. You can also use the stat reducing abilities with Addle, Expose, Shear. But if you've got your gambits and your equipment set up correctly, I don't really think there's a need to on this fight. So 9 million health is certainly a lot, but It's not required, in my opinion, to do so. But I do need to remove that stone. So we'll go ahead and just set up a gambit. I did forget about stone, in all honesty. There we go. I've just created an ally any gold needle. So that will get us out of those sticky situations. And just keeping Wyrm buff can be a problem at times when he's getting defeated here. And killed. But hopefully not a massive problem. And if he's got reverse up, then he should be getting healed by these nasty abilities here instead of damaged by them. But don't forget, you've always got the option of using Bubble Belt if things get a little bit hairy and you need that extra bit of health. Would be nice if we could get... I think I know what the problem is here. We need to get stop prioritised. So if we go to Chronos tier here, get that there, and Gold Needle. And then Ash is going to be doing everything she's supposed to be doing. I don't know why, but you can't cast Decoy on a stop target. And that means that your Gambit, if they're in the wrong order, is just going to spam Decoy over and over until stop is removed by another character. So we're getting there, we're getting there. The last 20% of this fight is definitely the hardest, and the last 10% can be really hard because he's hitting you with so much nasty stuff at that point. Just keep everyone buffed. He's got about 80 of those little bars left, hasn't he? And obviously, Wyrm is doing the bulk of the damage here, there's no question about that. Any chance of getting a revive here, please, Ash? Oh well, may as well get through the Judgment here, and I'll probably bring a Rise or Phoenix down upon Red Ass or Ash. So a slightly higher priority than what we're currently on. Oh, we didn't have reverse active. Well, isn't that annoying? So a Rise is quite low on the list here. We'll put it up there. Get one back to life here. And hopefully, Wyrm will start getting healed once more. We can get reverse status active, please. Thank you, Bash. Move out the way, Lady Ash. And he's got just inklings of health left. So here comes Thunderguard, which is not too bad because it's going to heal Ash. And he only does magic attacks here, and then at 10% health, he only does invert along with his magic attacks. So he'll stop all physical attacks completely at that point. And this is where the Gendarm shield is absolutely beautiful, because you're just going to be constantly healed at that point. And look at this, Ash can't even take damage now because of the Gendarm shield. And that's it, the Hellworm is defeated. You get a silver trophy, Radiant Saviour. Down he goes. Good riddance. And let's be honest, that fight wasn't that hard in the sense of, you know, it taking too long. $9 million health sounds a lot, but if you set your strategy up right and if you put the 4x speed on, it's not really that much. Wait until our 50 million health super boss a little bit later. Now that's another story. Right, so let's turn all our buffs off. Don't want to be doing all the bad stuff here like reverse at this point. As you can see, there are a few chests in this room, so it's probably worth grabbing those before venturing on out of the area here. One over here. A couple of motes to add to the collection. Any more? hiding around. Oh, yes. Reverse mode. So that's 3 chests. Is there a 4th? Can't see one. Okay, so let's make our way out of this place. Make your way over to the port of Baffleheim then exit into the Cerobi Steppe and approach windmill number 10 in the top area where we picked the quest up. And we'll get another cutscene here. Windmill number 10 of 10 up and running at last, thanks in no small part to the absence of that silly man, Kupo. Small wonder I couldn't repair the windmill with him sitting on the wheel the whole time. Of all the places to sit, Kupo. And that's it. And then if you speak to it again, you just get the same bit of text that you got before. So what you want to do now is head over to the clan hall back in Rabanasta. Back at the clan hall then, if you go ahead and speak to Mont Blanc, he'll give us a reward. Not a great reward, but a reward nonetheless for taking down the Wyrm. Hello, you. Here you defeated the Wyrm. Impressive. Kupo, I give you this with my compliments. I'm beside myself to have a member of my clan accomplish so great a feat, Kupo. And we get 50,000 gil. Kupo? Okay, well that's it. We don't have anything else. So that's our entire reward for taking down that enemy. A bunch of gil that we don't actually need. But hey, it's another thing ticks off the list. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope this episode's been a help to you, is what I was trying to say. And that you'll come back soon for more Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. Goodbye.